Alright, what's up guys? Today it's a very brief one, I just want to talk about what the HTML form tag actually does. This was inspired by, I've been working with Remix a lot lately, and this is something that even I didn't know after having done back-end and front-end development for several years now, but what's funny is when you learn on all these JS frameworks, you learn on React or Vue or whatever, you don't actually realize that the HTML form tag really does actually do things. It's a long lost art that was lost with PHP when we moved into these frameworks, so I kind of wanted to show you what it actually does and how that could actually potentially help you re-architect your apps in a more intelligent way, or at least give you a good idea of how things used to be done. Before we get into that, as I've said before, every single day in November we're going to be uploading something, making something new, building it out, trying to grow as much as humanly possible, so please like, subscribe, join up, get all the notifications, and thank you for being here. Let's take a look at the forums. Okay, so the first thing I've done is, first of all, I'm using code spaces right now. I'm probably going to make a video about this tomorrow. These are really cool. I'm very impressed, but that's besides the point. So what I've got right here is I have a basic HTML document with a form tag in here. I have these two properties on it, which are action and method. These are the two important parts of a form. So if you're familiar with HTTP, whenever you send like a request or something across it, you have to specify what the method is. You have to specify if it's get, post, put, whatever. So that's what this is specifying. So we're specifying what URL we're making a request to. In this case, it's going to be this URL right here, which is going to be the Express server, which I have over here, very basic. And then this method is going to say what HTTP method I'm going to use. And then whenever you have a button within your form, the default action that it's going to do is it's just going to submit the form. So let me show you how this works. So right here, I'm going to this URL and I'm making a GET request. So that means that whenever we do this, we should end up getting a GET request back down from this. So if we make a GET request / that should happen. So let's go to this, open up in live server and hit submit form. We get requests back. Whenever you submit a form in HTML, it will just redirect you to, it will just make a request to that URL via whatever method you pass in, and then pass in the form data as a parameter. So let me show you how the parameter stuff works. So I uncomment this right here. I'm going to add a name to my form, and then we're going to go over to index.js, and I'm going to do console.log request.params, and I'm going to do console.log request.query, and I'm going to do console.log request.body. So what I've done right here is I've just added so you can see what the params, query, and body look like. So now if we go back to this page, we head back and we want to refresh this. So now we're going to see we have this input in here. So I'm just going to say Ben, put in my name, and then hit submit form. And when I submit the form, you're going to look up in this URL and you're going to see that I have name being passed in as a query parameter. So we go back here, we can see that in this request, we had a query parameter of name equals Ben. There were no parameters, no URL parameters, and then our body was undefined because it was a GET request where we didn't pass in a body. So as you can kind of see with this, if you wanted to structure out a form, all you need to do is just define what URL will accept this. So you just say that, okay, we're going to accept a GET request here, and then you can actually pass parameters to it by the form itself. So say, for example, you wanted to make a search box or something. What you could do is you would then just say like, okay, but what is your search query or whatever, and then just say this is the search. And then over here, you could just pull the search out of the query, and then you run the search that way. So really, the point I'm trying to make is that what form actually does is it actually makes HTTP requests for you. So now let's do the same thing. Let's uncomment this back out. And now let's switch this over to a post request. So right here, I have a post request at this root URL. So normally I would send back GET requests like I had before, but now whenever we go to this post, I'm actually going to return a redirect to res.send, and then I'll just send back a redirect at the redirect page. So we fix that, and then we refresh this, go back, refresh, and now submit the form. We end up on the redirect page. It's going to match to the action will match the root, and then the method will match whatever the HTTP method is. So like I said, this is very brief. I just wanted to give you a sort of general overview of what forms do, how they actually work under the hood. This is something that most new devs aren't actually going to know or see because we don't really need this anymore. Obviously, in HTML world, you can just do onSubmit and then handle something in there, e.preventDefault and all that. But what you're actually preventing when you do e.preventDefault is you're preventing it from running this. So you're preventing it from making a GET request in your browser to whatever, or making a post request in your browser to whatever. And back in the day when we used PHP, this is how everything was done. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.